What were you doing before Review Harvest to try and get people to leave you a review?
I would just, when people, because we actually get thank you cards in the mail, we get people texting us like, this was the best party. I'm so grateful. And, we have people that use us for every single event. And I would text them, and I would actually just send them a link and be like, hey, thank you so much. Would you mind just posting that on Google? And
Yeah.
they would like, sure. And then they would forget. And then I would say, friendly reminder, can you just leave me a Google review, even if you just put 5 stars up there, or just copy and paste what you told me and put it on there. And
Literally, yeah.
and I think I think that a lot of people don't understand the importance of a Google review, because in order to keep because I do get a lot of business just straight through my website,
Yeah.
because I track where my business comes from. If somebody says to me that they were referred by so and so, I actually track in my system. I track whether it's a referral, whether it's the website, whether it's my networking groups, just to kind of see where business comes from. And we get a good chunk, especially around the holidays. A good
Mhm.
chunk of our business is actually through our website.
Mhm.
Um, and we have people that order from out of state for family members, right?
Yeah.
So your website is so crucial to your business, even in catering, because you do have people from out of state ordering. Even like yesterday, we delivered a charcuterie board to a um, it was a it was like a law office, and it was a board
Yeah.
of directors meeting, and it was actually somebody on the board that couldn't be there that said, can you make, so they didn't even live here locally, they live in another town. They're
Yeah.
like, just send a board and for the board meeting, and she put a little
Yeah.
note in there. And
That's awesome.
she came straight through our website, and I could
Yep.
tell by the question she was asking, she hadn't looked at any of our social media. It wasn't a referral. And then I saw her signature on her email. I could tell she was from another city.
Yeah.
And so I sent her to my Instagram. She's like, wow, everything you do is beautiful. I'm so glad you sent me there. Now I know that, it's
Yeah.
they're gonna be getting some good stuff.
For
So
sure.
it is crucial getting, to get reviews. It is so important to just put you up there and on Google. And I don't want to pay for Google ads.
Yeah.
I would rather be organically up there, because people are leaving me reviews, people are clicking my link, reviews, links, reviews, links, reviews, and I'm usually in the top 3 for
Yeah.
local charcuterie companies. But I want to be number 1 every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
for sure. Yeah, of
I'm not
course.
competitive at all.
Hey, that leads to a great business owner, a little competitive spirit for sure. But yeah, no, she probably went exactly to Google and said, catering company, charcuterie, board company, Treasure Valley, and there you were. Saw
Hmm.
191 reviews. It was
Hmm.
like, oh, sweet. So
Yeah,
what was it like? I think y'all had about 60 or so reviews before working with us. What was it like getting started with Review Harvest, and how have the results been so
it
far?
was. I was shocked, honestly shocked. Two reasons I was shocked. A, that you weren't somebody in China, because I did used to live in China, so I know the Chinese time zone and when they're online,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, okay, this is definitely not that China's a bad thing. It was just nice that you're interfacing with somebody that speaks your language on your time zone, all of that.
Yeah.
So that was super super nice to see that there's a real face behind it, and it's done right here in America. And then because you're giving a lot of your credentials, like
For sure.
you
Oh,
have
for sure.
access to to my clients, and so I want to
Yep.
make sure that my clients access is in good hands, and that
Sure.
it's not just going to end up to the wrong person and then they just start getting spammed
Yep. For
because it
sure.
got put in a database. So that's important to me. But I also noticed that, oh my gosh, I went from like about 60 reviews, and now I'm sitting at like 190. And that happened, and I want to think that that first month that we went with you, I think I got like 100 reviews
It's great. Yeah.
or more. And I was like, holy smokes, that is worth the money, because I am not, that's one less thing on my plate to have to keep reminding, to have to send out my link and have to, I didn't have my link like right off the top of my cup. I'd have to go back in and I'd have to copy and paste it and send it
Yep.
to the next person and the next person. And it's so time consuming. You're making it happen, and we are really grateful.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the kind words, Robin.